Alright, hello there. So this video will be about how you can build a custom integration. This is for the people that are very beginners. This is going to be a beginner-friendly tutorial. I'm not a pro developer or anything. So this will be how I would take on the task of building a simple custom integration. This custom integration I'm building now will be for Flowise. And you should have built at least one chatbot in the Botpress Cloud Studio. This is a must, to be honest. Now, be comfortable with the command line. You should know how to do some basic commands in the command line, but you don't need to be a pro or anything. Be familiar with Node.js would be also a pro, but it's not a must. Be familiar with TypeScript. The first integration I built was the first time I wrote anything in TypeScript, so I wouldn't personally say it's a must, but if you want to build anything a bit more complex, being very familiar with Node.js, TypeScript, and the command line is a definite must. Alright, so to build a custom integration, we can go to this page in the Botpress documentation. And right here, we can see the prerequisites. I'm not sure how to pronounce that, to be honest, but you need a Botpress account. You should already have that by now. Now, you don't need a ClickUp account. This is just the integration that they're going to be building. And you should have a code editor, such as Visual Studio Code or Sublime Text. I am going to be using Visual Studio Code, which I will also recommend you to use. And you should have a Node.js package manager npm installed, and you should use Node version 18. So you can check your Node version by going node-version. I think I'm on version 20 actually, but that should also be just fine. Node-version, yeah, 20, and npm version should also have that installed. And we can check the version just like this. So if you haven't installed Node.js, you should start out by doing that. We can see right here. So go to, well, probably just click the hyperlink. Yeah, right here, install Node.js. And right here is how you can install TypeScript via npm. I'll recommend you to do it that way. Now, building a custom integration. So you can get started by using this command right here, and just going in here. We should actually use a new folder. So we'll set this up. I'll do this on my desktop. Botpress integrations. I'll make a new folder called Flowise, and I'll choose this folder. So when I open a terminal, it would go from the folder that I chose. Now I can paste in this command, and you might just need a minute to completely download it and install, but we can see that the next thing we should do is select integration when prompted, and we should give it a name, and then we should change the directory into that name. So we'll right here press down once, select the integration, and we'll call this integration Flowise. So you see right now we have a folder called Flowise. We have this source, and we have integration.definitions. This is the two main files that we are going to be working with. Now let's go back into here. Let's see change directory. Start by doing that. So cd Flowise, just like that. And now we should run npm install, and then the Botpress CDK, client, and sub, and Axios. So let's see. What does it say? It says that already in dev dependency was not moved. Okay, that should actually be fine. Now we'll install the Botpress CLI, TypeScript, type node. Yeah. So we also need these, and that installed just fine. Now these are the dev dependency for Botpress CLI. So I think we'll add these to our Java package.json. We should also already have scripts, so we'll add it just like this. And let's see, what did it not like? Let's happens when I do it like this. Yeah, so this should be just fine. And then writing the integration. So I have already built a an integration, and we can find this in Botpress/Botpress, and go to integrations, scroll down, we should be able to see make right here. So we'll be pretty much just copying a lot of the stuff from this. So I'll be starting out by going to this integrations.definitions, and I'll honestly think I'll just copy it all. Well, we should probably figure out what kind of structure our files need and what the input and output should be like. So we will go from the start here, search up Flowise, low code apps. We'll go to the GitHub, copy this right here. We'll need that, I think. Okay, so we'll make a new open folder, and we'll do it in this folder right here. Well, it seems like we're already in that folder. Perfect. So go to the terminal, we'll go cd, and we'll just backslash. So we'll go cd cd, and we'll just do this then cd and cd Flowise. Alright, so in this Flowise folder we will do it like this. So we'll say npm install, and just fold it in. Now the next command is for installing. So the next one is going to be starting up Flowise. So copy this, and we'll just wait for this to finish. You can also set this up using Docker. I should probably have done that, to be honest. But since I don't have Docker installed on this laptop here, I will wait with that. So we'll just be using the quick start. Now I'll be back once this has fully installed. Alright, so it's finished installing, and we can now go on to npx Flowise start. So we will write that here. If I can do that, maybe I didn't copy it. Try again. Perfect. So now we can go take a look at so I'll just give it the permissions it needs. So just like that, you can see that with username and password, npx Flowise start username and password. So we might have to set something like that up. I'm not sure. See, data source is being initialized, has been initialized, and well, let's try and see. Oh right, yeah, so it's already up there, so this is up and running. Now let's quickly put this in dark mode, and we will see how we can do this. So it's been a while since I have used Flowise, but we should be able to go to the documentation. Let's close this down, documentation, and saying something like using, then let's say using the API. So we'll be testing this out. So maybe I can get a new chat flow up and running. Maybe I can do this from a template so I don't have to sign. Flowise Q&A docs, that's perfect. Well, now it wants a lot of stuff. Flowise docs, GitHub, Q&A. I was thinking maybe we could just use a very simple one. Use template. Does it need any APIs? Doesn't really look like it. Oh, it's a tool, right? Okay. I'll just find a simple one that I can use, maybe set up some API keys, and I'll get back to you. Alright, so after a lot of testing, trying some different things, I have arrived at this flow. Now, this flow is just a translator basically, so it will require an OpenAI API key, a model, so I'll just be using 3.5, it's cheap. And yeah, so system message. Now the human message right here is just going to be static, so test message here, and I have decided to translate it to German since it's a language that I know. And I think other people might also be familiar with. So we can save it right here. I just tested it. We can also just clear this. Say, yeah, just anything to really start it. Test Nachricht here, so that is completely correct. That is German for, yeah, test message here. So, what we want to do with this is more really just look at this, I suppose JavaScript. What can we do else? Python, ShareBot. Don't have to do that embed. Yeah, no. Yeah, okay. So it's going to be using our local host, this right here. Now, my guess is that we don't have to set up ngrok yet. Actually, I think we have to. But before we do that, let's see, I don't have installed Insomnia, so we'll just search for HTTP request online. Yeah, we'll use this just fine. Well, we won't be able to do it then. Well, sure, I will set up ngrok. Just download it. Alright, so I have now set up ngrok. And it was fairly easy to do, to be honest. So we could now, this right here should be, well, let's look at what it gave me. So we will be running this. Well, this from a, yeah, right, we should have this part. It's a post, yeah. Now the thing is we have to change it a bit. So like this, and paste this in here. Okay, so application.json is correct, right? Yeah, and in the body we will include question and how are you. So hopefully this will work, but honestly not completely sure. Oh, it did. That's amazing. So yeah, so we get this back and we should probably just use text, right? Yeah, so I think it's going to be pretty easy to write this code since it's very simple, just using the curl right here, which well, what do we use? What is the prediction? Yeah, so just using the prediction API, which is what we're going to be using. So no image uploads for now, we can develop on that later. None of these other things, just the prediction API. Should be pretty easy. So let's look into writing the actual code. So I can move this to the right side. So I can look at my GitHub and go to here. So what we are going to be using is name, integration name. We don't actually need that. Do something like this. And then integration name is going to be Flowise. Now name is going to be integration underscore name. Now the version is 0.2.0. Now title, not sure I can copy the title. We'll wait a bit with the icon. The title should also just be Flowise. Let's make this non-capital letter. So description, now we'll wait a bit with the description and the readme. So we can do this two ways. So usually the way I've set it up right here with the make.com is actually going to the configuration. So do we need anything else from here? We might just come back to it later. So we can go to app.botpress.cloud and I can just make this full screen now. So let's say I'm at right here and I go to integration, I go to make.com. Right here you will have the you will have to input the webhook URL, which we can also do here, but that would only allow us to call one we can just call it like one Flowise flow or something like that. One API. So instead, I kind of want to do this on a card basis, so you can just input it on the card. I'm sure we could probably work out some way to have like a boolean variable that you can set to true or false, and then you would either, if it sets to true, you would just use one API, so you don't have to input it on every card. But I think for now it's going to be just fine using it on a card basis, inputting it on a card basis. So we will also not really think about this part right here. So channels could be empty. I'll put this to the side. So channels can just be empty. Okay, so we will look into actions and just so actions, and we will call this, well, let's see, what do we have here? So actions send data, and in the data JSON string of the data to send. So it should also be JSON. So we can pretty much do the same right here. So send data input schema down to here. Yeah. What did we mess up? Think I am probably missing one. Well, I have one too many maybe. Oh, we can count. So can end this one. What is your problem? Comma expected. No. Send data. Now, yeah, we are missing one. So like this. Now, what is your issue? Yeah, output is missing. So that is just fine. Because that is what we're going to be building now. So let me copy copy it down to here. I think be a lot easier to work with. Yeah, so we have this action and we have send data and then the input and then we have the schema. Now we actually need two kind of inputs because we need an input for the JSON, but we also need an input field for the API to call, but we don't need anything else. No. So I'm not sure if we can just add another input. Well, we can look at another integration for this. So I know Simply Great Bots also built one called Dolly. Now this one right here, I think it uses more than one. Yeah, so actions, send data, then input, then schema, set.object, and then it has data. Now let's go to the right, so it ends like that. So we have data. Now before data, we should probably have, well, let's see. So this one right here ends right there. So where does this, so set schema set dot object, which is what we had here, starts, and before it ends, so comma, yeah, okay. So data, and this one we will call API. Now API is going to be set.string, and yeah, we can pretty much do the same right here. API key for, well, not API key, API endpoint to send data to. API Flowise, we should probably call it Flowise. API endpoint to send data to. And it must not be empty. I think that should be fine, right? Yeah, I think so. Probably call this prediction API. Well, we can do a set dot describe. We already have that. Input schema for sending data. Yeah. So we can call this Flowise prediction API endpoint to send data to. Yeah, that should be fine. Now, do we need multiple for this? I don't think we need anything else, right? We need this right here, and we need the JSON. See, what else do we have? Content type, yeah, so that's just fine. And the output, well, the output is going to be a bit different. So, what kind of output did we get? So I think we can keep this success. Now response set.any and then .describe. Now we should probably change this describe so I can just make this full screen. Data received from Flowise will be the string accepted if successful and no data returned. I don't think that's the case for data. After sending data could be JSON structure depending on the after sending data could be a JSON structure. I think we can just delete this. It should be a JSON structure, but we'll keep it. And that describe output schema after sending data expecting any JSON structure. Yeah, so that is true. Oh yeah, pretty nice. We can see the terminal, what we have going here. Request and originated from undefined and final result. Yeah, so that's also true. Nice. We're gonna have to stop this pretty soon, since we might have to write BP build now. But let's take another look at what these integrations have going. So schema. Now the URL, we don't need the URL, we don't need the created date. So I'll go back to look at my make integration to see if it had anything else. Yeah, no. So we should write BP build now, if I'm not mistaken. Important CLI, yeah. So BP build. Now this will update our index.ts file, I believe. But let's see, getting started. Yeah, BP build right here. And then implement the integration. Now we need to work on our index.ts file. So stop this. Say, yeah. Say BP build doesn't really like that. So cd Flowise BP build, it didn't like that either. BP. Why does not like that? So let's go and take a look at what does it say here. Important CLI commands. Try this instead. So use this to build the integration, yeah. So let's see if it likes that. We should have Flowise package.json, and then we right, we don't have BP build in here. Ah, fair enough. Bit weird we don't, but we can use this instead. So now it built it. We can go into here. This is our integration definition. We need to go to index.ts. So why probably send data is missing? Yeah. So it built just fine. It's, as you can see, it needs the send data that we built from actions. So we can move this over to the side again. Go back into here. Go back into here, and now we can go to make source and index.ts. So we need Axios. We do need that. So I'll just do this. We haven't used Axios yet, but that's just fine. We should have already installed, yeah. So export default, starting integration, class. We can delete this. So export new default new Botpress integration. That's the same. We have register async. Now don't really need anything here. Do we have anything? No, so we don't need anything else here. Now I believe channels, we could just, yeah, delete all of this, so it's comes down to this one, if I'm not mistaken. Handler async, and we can also just let this be empty, so that's perfect. So channels, well, channels should, whoops, yeah, okay, so channels. Now we can see actions, and in our actions right here we will just pretty much copy this. So oh, it built some for us, nice. I'm not going to use this as well. It might work, but not completely, because we'll be async send data, and in this we'll include ctx, we'll include input and logger. Well, yeah, sure, we will keep logger, it's nice to have. So logger for bot. Well, send, we can pretty much just copy a lot of stuff from this previous integration. So sending data to, and we'll just say Flowise. Now what is it here that it doesn't actually like? Well, so we're not using that, so what does it say? Type ctx, send data is not assignable to type, not assign, type word is not assigned. Expected comes from property. Okay, so this should be fine for now, I think. Well, we can go about it, see once we have built it if it keeps staying like this, but it would also seem like we might have deleted something, because actions doesn't actually seem to end, right? So well, probably should end this one. Say Control X, put that in here, and then we should put this down here and this down here. Now I will not do that, so that fixed some. So we can see what else can we use. So we can say const webhook UL, so we'll change that a bit. So instead we'll say const API endpoint equals input.api, yeah, because if you go back and look at this and say input and then .api, that's perfect. and we can say we don't need, so I have this start equals data now. This was just to log how long it took for it to run through make, but we can include, we don't include this. Okay, so we'll also be using try catch here. So I think try const response equals await API endpoint JSON.parse input that data. It's alright. So status should probably do it a bit differently, yeah. So well, we can just restructure it right here. So say try, then const request data, and we can let this be, and we can say, also gonna have to change this a bit, so instead of webhook we'll say API endpoint, and data is request data. Now this should actually be question, because right, if we look here, yeah, so question request data. Now let's go back. We can say, so we don't need this constellation. Go to end right here. It's going to be a lot easier if you have, you know, 2 screens you can work on, but I don't think I can set up it to record on 2 screens. Now we will keep this, yeah, so status code. So successfully sent data to Flowise, and go a bit back, say return, and well, we can just do it here. Say return, then success true, and response, and yeah, we'll include the response, so that's just fine. So console now catch the error, and duration, we don't need duration. Error sending data to Flowise. Should probably do this if statements first. So if, and then I can just copy it. Right. So if Axios, I'm sure we can input error here. If Axios is Axios error, const status network error. So now what did I use? Lookup for bot dot error. Error sending data to, and then Flowise. And then status, duration, we don't need duration, static complete, yeah. Message, that's just fine. And then response, response.data, yeah. So else if, we can just copy it once at a time. Else if, what is this for? Can wait a bit with that, and we don't need to include this return just yet. So else if error passing input data JSON data, yeah, so that's fine. And then else logger error sending data to make.com. We can copy it. Well, probably just need this right here. error sending data to, and then Flowise. And again, duration, we're not going to be using this. Did I forget to? Alright, deleted too much. So, and then error, and then so what does it start, what does it end? So the only thing we really need right now is this right here. Now, yeah, that's correct. Successful, response null, yeah, that's fine. Now, why does it expected colon, comma? Does it need these? No. Something else is wrong. Yeah, this one right here. So I think we are missing. Yeah, okay, so this one right here should be going to one right here. So, yeah, alright. That fixed it, yeah. So it still doesn't like it here. CTX, okay, we can delete CTX. We actually didn't use it. I messed something up, yeah. So what does it say now? Input logger. Promise success true, successful, yeah, response null. Undefined is not assigned for the type props, and then send data. Okay, so success and response, isn't that what we used? Response null, and we had nullable in here, right? Where is it? Nullable, yeah. And if it's here, we can say return success true and then response, and we have yeah. Why does it not like it? Well, I'm not a professional. Type undefined is not assignable to type output. Why does it say undefined? It really doesn't like it, but you know, instead of me trying to spend some time fixing this, I can copy it. I can go to ChatGPT. Now I have GPT-4, but else you can really do whatever you want to. There are also some options to use this for free, and you can also just use the API. You can use an AI task in Botpress, but I'll just be using GPT-4 right here. So I get this error. Didn't copy the error. Now why did I not copy it? Get this error from send data here. And we'll just copy everything. Now this refers, so that code refers to the integration.definition TS file. This is the code in that file, and we'll also give it this code. So we'll see what it can let it tell us right here. So we can scroll down the error message. Oh, it's fast. It's, yeah. Type checking system and the way it enforces strict adherence. Define types. Yeah. It seems that the send data function you are integrating, that your integration code is expected to return a promise that resolves to an object of type output, which is defined by your, yeah, that is correct. So the function currently may return undefined when an exception occurs and it is not caught, or it catches the exception. here's how to resolve. Ensure that the function always returns a promise of output. Make sure that in all branches of your function returns. Okay, we'll use a promise then. So that is our index.ts file. Actions, send data, and then okay, so I think we can just copy this code completely. So starting from here down to, where did it end? So to here. Right? I think so. Well, probably also this one. See if it gives anything. So it says status. There's an error with that now. Can look into that. Status, type number, network error is not assignable to type. Why is network error not assignable? Yeah, but not sure why this would be a so promised success was yeah, okay. So let's just go through if it changed anything majorly. Success through catch error, let status be unknown error and let message be equals to an unknown error occurred. Now why error is of type unknown? It's not perfect, but that is okay. So we can tell it that that fixed that error, but now we got two more. First one is with status in this line, and just copy it, and we'll say that it says this, and we'll just copy whatever it says, because in my head this is not a number, it's a string, but also have this issue with, and we'll say error in this line, and so we'll copy it down to here. It says this, that it was undefined, right? It was type unknown, local variable. Well, let's take it all. Where's a fixtures in Copilot? No, it says this. Now this is why ChatGPT is amazing, because we can just let it do its thing. So TypeScript error arises because either a number or a string to the variable status. So let me see right here. Let status. Now we are already assigning status right here, so we are not going to be doing that. Check if it's a standard JavaScript error. If actual is error, status equals, and then did it fix it? It did, nice. And shouldn't really change anything there. Now instance of, and then logger for bot. Now is this the line? It is not. So just deleted error. Let's just copy this and just that message, which honestly makes sense. Oh yeah, right. Yeah, okay, that's fine enough. That was actually fairly easy, but sure. I think all of this is now done and ready for testing purposes. So make this full screen, go into here. Now, what did it say? So I'm not sure if we have to build it again. I actually don't think, but you know, we will. And then use to display without confirmation. Yeah, we'll just run this so we don't have to stop. Well, we should probably log in first before we deploy. We'll need to generate a personal access token. I can go and copy one that I should already have deleted from my app script right here. Did another tutorial on it, and yeah, I have this right here. I should have deleted that, but completely forgot about it. So let's see what it says right here. Say login, and need to generate a personal access token. So copy this, enter a personal access token. Well, do I have one called integration? I do. Perfect. So which workspace logged in? Let's see, doesn't need anything else. I don't think it does. We should be able to see it soon. Yeah. So go to here and say pnpm run deploy. And hopefully it doesn't could not create name flow must follow the format. To select your current workspace handle, please go to your workspace. Do I need a handle? Go to integration. Set workspace handle integration. DK integrations. Okay. We can try again. Minus. Could not create integration Flowise. The name of the integration Flowise must follow the format. This is a completely new error. I think it might be. I can try. Your workspace handle / my integration. Well, maybe. Right, VP build. I don't think we can write that. Nope. It's a very weird error. Try to do it without the confirmation. Shouldn't really change anything, but just in case. So build completed. Nice. And let's see. Come on. Yeah, thank you. So pnpm run deploy bp deploy. So yes. Okay, it worked. Okay, nice. I'm very relieved of that. So DK integration / Flowise. Super duper weird that this is supposed to be the name. You know, these are some previous ones I built and we didn't really need it, but sure. So we'll create a new bot just to test it. We'll call this bot Flowise, I suppose. Yeah. Test. Go to integrations. Well, integrations here. Say install to Flowise test at the bot. Configure integration. So don't think we need to touch this. No, we don't. Hopefully we can see a card in the bot, and hopefully it works. It might throw some errors, you know, it's the first time doing this, not like haven't done this beforehand and then doing a tutorial after. So you can see the card, so it doesn't have an image, that's fine. So the API endpoint, so we'll have to run grok again. I have to be completely honest. Maybe it's still running. Not sure, I don't think it's running, but we'll take it. There's probably some issue with JSON here now I think about it, but API data, this is a test, and we'll say test, and we'll do two things. So we'll say test message, and okay, so we'll do it like this, workflow.test, and we'll also do wait for user input, and then copy this, do it like this, and say okay, let's try and run it. Okay, so success false, and now we don't see anything here. Maybe I think we should see them in here. Error passing. Yeah, okay, so let's build the let's write the JSON. So I wasn't sure if it needed, so let's say question test. I think that should be better. But there might be an issue. Bad gateway. Oh, that's not good. Let's do another test from here. Okay, so it doesn't like it here either. Bad gateway. Right, I have stopped running Flowise. Let me just... Of course I have. That's not very smart of me. Getting started. Flowise start. Not even sure. Okay. So maybe. Right, for anyone wondering, oh my god, it worked. Okay, that is honestly, I'm very relieved. I can see when running ngrok some things here. That's why I knew that was a 502 bad gateway, which is what led me to think that I wasn't running Flowise. Also, I can see it when testing from here. That is at bad gateway status right here. So yeah. Okay, so it actually worked. Now, let's say we wanted to just use this text right here. We will have a text card saying text message. Let's look at it. So dot response, right? Dot response dot text. So let's run it again. Yeah, okay, we had one too many, so and we can see the translator message. So this is the translator message from Flowise that we have right here. So text message here, and it's the same one we got here. So this was how to build it, and not really sure if I'm going to be working a lot more on this Flowise integration. I'll be talking with my friend Goose. He's a Flowise expert, and you know, it was also his idea to build this integration, so I'll, you know, get his input on everything and, you know, see if he thinks that something should be adjusted or added to it. Maybe, you know, I will add this you know, the option to use image uploads and speech to text. Yeah, I can probably do speech to text. And what else can we do? Vector. Yeah, so not sure. I'll, you know, talk with him, hear your inputs if you have anything that you want to adjust on it. But honestly, just very, very relieved that this worked the first time. I was expecting some errors, but it worked, so that's amazing. Now, if you have any questions about, you know, how to do this further, now you know, we'll have to continue onwards, probably doing a pull request to the GitHub. I'm not going to be doing this right now, as honestly not sure if I'm completely done with this integration. But you know, you would upload it, you would commit it, which we should have done from the start, to your GitHub. And yeah, if you have any more questions, let me know. I know Simply Great Bots is also an integration expert. He knows a lot more than me. And keep in mind that this integration right here was super simple. It took me an hour to build. So yeah, but it was actually pretty enjoyable to do this again. So see ya.